Hey, what's going on, guys? Dr. Sean J. Harris here at Generational Wealth Academy, and I want to talk to you this morning about being ready for opportunities. You know, I think so many times people miss out on opportunities because they feel that they need so much information. Many times people think that they have to have all of the pieces of the puzzle before they can figure out how to put the puzzle together. So when opportunity comes knocking, you got to be ready. You know, it's like so many times people say, let's say opportunity is knocking at your door, and people oftentimes have to ask, well, who is it? Look through the peephole, unlatch 13 locks to open the door. By the time they sling the door open, guess what? Opportunity is left, and it's at the porch of your neighbor because they were ready and you weren't. So many times, there have been numerous times in our lives where we had opportunities where we didn't have any information or very little information, but because of the person who brought the subject up to us, we know their background, we trust them, so we just jump on the opportunity. A good example, you guys know Caden's bus project, the renovation process was televised. It's going to be on a TV show on a major network. But here's the deal with that. We had very limited information. We were calling around and we checked with this one guy who did modifications, and in the conversation he's just like, listen, would you guys be open to being on a TV show to chronicleize this event of us changing out the bus? So we were like, sure. He said, listen, I'm going to pass your information over to this young lady, and this company's going to call you this afternoon. We didn't have any information. But we trusted what he was doing with the bus project, and we just trust him as a person, and we understand how opportunities work. Successful people don't have to know everything, we just need to know enough. So this was about 1 o'clock when we had the phone call conversation with the bus company, and the person that he referred us to called us back at 3:30 that same day. But see, we were ready. We were already anticipating the phone call coming in within the next 24 hours. We were able to get the information over to them, photos of the bus, Caden's background in business, etc. So you have to be prepared. You always got to be ready. You hear so many people say if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. But so many people say that, but they're never ready. They don't have the ducks already in the water in a row. Another thing, we had purchased some real estate a couple years back, and we actually did it sight unseen. So many people are afraid to make purchases sight unseen, or just live their life sight unseen. So we knew that we had to move quickly on this real estate purchase that we were doing. We caught wind of it at night. It was like 11 o'clock at night. I called my agent and said, hey, put an offer on it immediately. So we put the offer on it that night before midnight. We were able to look at the property like a couple days later, ended up loving the property. It was going to suit the needs for what we needed it to do in our financial portfolio. We took down the property, got an amazing interest rate, got an amazing price, negotiated so many different things. But again, so many people are afraid to operate their lives like that and won't just jump on the deal with that gut instinct. I have what I call an internal risk index factor. And it's a combination of my spirit and common sense. I put those two together, and if the deal's gonna make sense, I go ahead and move with it if the gut tells me so, and my due diligence makes sense. So those are some of the things that I want to talk about. I remember I had a friend of mine. He told me one time. He said, "Hey, listen, I got a money making opportunity. How much money you got in your pocket?" I said, "Man, I got like $100 in my pocket." He said, "Hey, listen, I'm gonna take you to an auction, and we're gonna buy a car." I said, man, there's no way we're going to buy a car for $100. Needless to say, long story short, I ended up purchasing a 1983 Honda Accord for $60. Ended up taking that car, putting it online that night, sold that car for $120, so I doubled my profits. And then I took that 120, went back the very next day, bought another car. I think it was a Mitsubishi Mirage. Ended up selling that car for like $320. Took that $320 and bought a Q45 for $300. And I sold that Q45 for $1,800. Subsequently, I took the $1,800, started buying more higher-end cars, Lexus, BMWs, Mercedes, and it was that same $60. But I trusted my friend, and I went on faith. I knew he wasn't going to steer me wrong, so I jumped. And successful people, we tend to jump and we build wings on the way down. We figure it out as we go. So we don't have to know every single detail, every minute part of a process. You just need to know enough to move forward. Okay, so that's what I just want to kind of talk to you guys about this morning. Making my hot chocolate here. So that's some of the things I want to talk to you guys about. And you know, if someone brings opportunity to you, particularly if you trust that person, move forward. A lot of times we ask for opportunities, we pray for opportunities, but more importantly, I think people need to pray for recognition of opportunities, because opportunities are around you every single day. But if you can't recognize it, it's all for naught. So don't just pray for the opportunity to come your way, because they are there constantly. You have to pray and be able to tune in to the ability to recognize those opportunities. Okay, there's been many events that we've been invited to, where it's like, hey, I need you to be at this address at this time on this date. Just be there. No questions asked. We show up. Hey, what's the attire? That's the only question I pretty much have. But every single time, those opportunities end up being very fruitful. So if you want to change going into 2023, you got to change the way you operate. You got to change your levels of faith. Okay? Get in positions, get in the rooms, because opportunity is not going to happen if you're not allowed in the room. So you got to figure out how to get in the room, how to get in the circles. All right, guys, I'm Dr. Sean J. Harris, and make major impact in everything you do. Take care.